In this video, we're covering exactly how to set up and use Claude Code. From scratch, no coding experience required. I'll walk you through the installation, any requirements, how to use it, notable features, and then we'll cover use cases. So the best use cases, I'll give you a bunch of different options based on what you're looking for. We'll cover some frequently asked questions, and then talk about where to take it next once you've mastered the basics. So whether you've never coded before in your life, or maybe you've tried Claude Code a few times, but don't feel like you fully understand it or are unlocking the full value yet, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use it. It's an extremely valuable skill, and it is by no means too late. Because the thing is, Claude Code isn't just a tool for programmers, it is a tool for anybody who knows how to describe what they want. And in fact, Anthropic, which is the company behind Claude Code, held a hackathon, and the winner of it all wasn't even a programmer. It was a road worker who built a permit review system using Claude Code. So anyone can do it, and it's insanely valuable. Now, if you're new here, my name's Ben. I was head of growth at a YC AI startup, so not an engineer, but close enough to use this and see what was possible. And I kept thinking, why isn't anybody explaining this to the non-technical people? They're the ones that would benefit the most from this. And so that's what we're doing here. With that, let's jump in. So to start, let's talk about what makes Claude Code different from regular Claude, like Claude in the chat. Because you can do coding in regular Claude, but Claude Code has a number of advantages. First, it can access files on your computer. You can have multiple agents working for you all at once. Part of the genius of Claude Code is it breaks things down in a progression, and so you can do much longer and much more complex tasks than you could with regular Claude. And then you can leave it running overnight when your computer isn't on. You don't actually have to be there for things to be happening. Of all the tools that Claude has created, so regular chat, Claude Cowork, which I just made a video about, and Claude Code has the most functionality, which makes it one of the best ones to learn. The one thing you will need for Claude Code is a paid Claude plan. You can just get the $20 a month version. That's what I would recommend. You can do everything there. Now, to install Claude Code, there are two ways. In the past, you had to use Terminal, which, if you don't know, is that weird kind of programming interface. It looks like this. It's kind of this hackerish thing. It can be intimidating to a lot of people, but don't worry, you no longer need that in order to set this up. So option A to install Claude Code is in the desktop app. So if you're on Claude's website, just go down here, click this little download button, and then hit download for Mac OS or whatever system you're running. From there, now that you're in the desktop app, you can see up at the top, there are tabs. So we're in Claude Chat, we've got Claude Cowork, and then we just hit Claude Code. Now, if you are on Mac, that's it. You literally have Claude Code. On Windows, there's one more additional step, which is you need to install something called Git. Git just gives you a little bit more functionality around coding. For Windows, it is a requirement, but it's really easy to get and it's free. So just search download Git for Windows. Click this first link here. It's the git-scm, and then just click here to download it. Now, once you actually want to get started building, the next thing to do is to select a folder to work in. So that's what you're going to do down here. You can see I already have it selected to a folder, but you would choose a different one, and you can choose any here. I would highly recommend creating a new folder to work in. So it could just be the Claude Code folder. Select that. And now everything you do will be in there, you can track it, you can find it there. It also means that if Claude is going to make some changes, you could duplicate another folder into that folder so it can make changes in the duplicate, and it doesn't delete anything important if it happens to make a mistake. One more thing that can be helpful as you're building is to create a GitHub account. If you've never heard of that, GitHub is an online tool that's really popular with programmers to store their code so that if, say, you somehow lose it or you want to go back to an old version or you're somewhere else and you don't have access to your computer, you can still access all of your code from the cloud. And if you want to do that, just go to github.com and then just hit sign up. It's super simple, it's free, it's handy, but you do not need to do this for Claude Code. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore because the stuff we're going to do today, you don't need GitHub for. So if that's confusing, I have to go create this thing and it's a program, just don't worry about it, don't do it. Now, the second option to install Claude Code is through the terminal, that thing that we talked about before. It's just the most simple programming interface on your computer. If you already have the desktop app, don't worry about this, but there are some benefits to installing through the terminal, which we'll talk about in just a second. So to do that, just open the terminal, Command plus spacebar on Mac, hit terminal. Otherwise on Windows, go to the start menu and search for Command Prompt or PowerShell. Now from here, I think the easiest way is just to search install Claude Code, and then Claude will tell you the exact command to run. So I'm just gonna copy this and then go back to terminal and paste that in. Now it can take a little bit to install, and unfortunately it doesn't really give you any indication that it is installing, but if you've hit that command, hit enter, and then nothing else pops up, that means it is loading. You can give it like 30, 60 seconds. It's got to download some stuff, so it can take a little bit. Okay, and mine actually was taking a while, so I had it install with this progress bar so you can see just as it's going. But now you should get this message, Claude Code successfully installed. And now if we want to check that, we're just going to type in Claude there, and then we should see this pop-up message. It'll give you some options to select. You can just go through these, most of them make sense. I'm going to do dark mode, and then you'll have to select a login method. The most common and what I'd recommend is number 1, which is just a Claude account with subscription. So we'll hit enter there. It'll open claude.ai. We will hit authorize. And now you're all set up. User recommended settings. And now here we go. This is the main interface that we'll use when we're in terminal. If you're wondering which of these 2 ways to install it through, I would highly recommend the desktop app because I think that is best for beginners. But there are a few differences. Let's talk about those. So benefits that the desktop app has over the terminal. First is visual comparisons of like a before and after in your code. Programmer speak, they call this a diff. But say if you want to update some code, Claude will show you on one hand what it looked like before, and then on the other hand, the updated code and like what's different between them. Extra sessions with 0 setup. So you can just click new session, new session, new session, get a bunch of new sessions that you can run in parallel to have Claude Code do stuff. In terminal, you'd have to add those all manually. It could get a little bit more complicated. Third is built-in app preview, which is pretty cool. If you are programming something in the desktop app, Claude will show you an example of that thing that you're building. And then one-click plugin and connector setup. So we'll talk about this in just a second, but there are additional things you can connect, say tools like Notion or like Figma. On the desktop app, it's really easy to do that. You just click one thing. In terminal, you have to type a few commands, which is fine, but if you're new, it can be more confusing. And then fifth is file attachment. So you can just drag and drop files right in. In terminal, you can't do that. And then what terminal does better than the desktop? First is automation and scripting. Because it is connected to your computer, running everything off of there, it's much better optimized for, say, creating automations that run overnight and deeper integrations into tools within your computer. So if you've got a ton of different commands that you need to chain together, terminal is better for that. It has a bit more functionality when it comes to those technical things, but it is a bit more complex too. 2, like we said, overnight runs. So if you want something to continue going when your computer's turned off, you will need to use terminal to do that. And then it works in Linux. If you're on a Linux device, they don't have the desktop app yet, so you need to run off terminal. But I want to stress that desktop app and terminal are doing the same thing, and you can use both of them. You can use them both at the same time. So there's never saying no to one to say yes to the other. They're just 2 different ways to access the same thing. So now we're in Claude. We're going over to Claude Code. Let's talk about a few more things. Right down here, you can select the model. Opus is the best one, but it's the most expensive. Haiku is the cheapest, but the least good, though it's still capable. Sonnet's kind of right in the middle. That's what I use. It's also what I would mainly recommend unless you really need some intensive reasoning or thinking, and then go to Opus. Right down here, you have your settings for asking permissions. So if you click that, you can choose from these. You can have it always ask for permissions. You can have it auto accept edit, so whatever it suggests, it'll go do. And then you can have plan mode where it won't actually do anything, but it will just give you the plan. For beginners, I would start with ask permissions, just so you can always see every single step, you know what's going on. As we mentioned before, down here you select your folder. If you hit this plus button, you'll see a couple more options. A cool one here is slash commands. So this one might feel a little bit more technical, but these are things that when you are normally coding, you would just hit slash and then type this command, and it's sort of like a pre-packaged instruction for Claude to do. Now, you don't have to ever use these slash commands. You can just explain what you want Claude to do with written language. But they are really useful to teach you some things that maybe you didn't even know were an option. So for example, batch is to research and plan a large-scale change and then execute it in parallel across a couple different isolated worktree agents that each open a PR. PR is pull request, as we mentioned before. So you might not have even known that you could put a super large-scale change in here and have Claude essentially split up into a bunch of different agents to each go handle a small part of it and then come back together. Compact is another good one. This is where if you have a really long conversation, it can get kind of slow and it uses up a lot more token credits. And so you can just compact it down. It summarizes all the key stuff, puts it there. Cost, if you ever want to see the cost and duration of your current session, that can be good. And then simplify is basically taking whatever code Claude has written and simplifying it down to make it better, more efficient. I'll let you look through all of these. We won't cover all of them in today's video, but they're definitely cool to look through even if you never actually type the / command. Then you've got connectors and plugins. If you've seen any other tutorials about Claude, you've probably learned about these, but they're basically tools that you can connect to. So I have Notion connected, you can connect Google Drive. There's more that you can add like GitHub, we talked about, Figma, Gmail, Google Calendar, etc. And then plugins are really cool. These are like built-in workflows that have already been created that you can just download and use in your Claude Code work. So you'll see they have tools that you might recognize like Figma, popular design tool, or Asana, a task management tool. But then you also have kind of like skills that it can do, like circling back conversational context. It can do automated code review, it can commit code that you have written, stuff like that. I'm not gonna cover these too much because they go a bit out of the scope of this video. For beginners, don't worry about them, but as you get a little bit more complex, you're looking for more functionality, you can start to add some of these in. And now, get to my favorite part, which is use cases. Let's talk specific use cases. So the first one is going to be for someone who, say you are a marketing manager at a company, you need to do a competitive audit. We can have Claude build a scraper that goes and looks at a number of different websites all in parallel, pulls everything you need from there. So it could be, copy, could be certain images, what their pricing is, stuff like that. Pull it together to give you some ideas. And I'm gonna write my prompts live so you can see how I'm thinking through things, and we'll talk about what's good, what's bad. I will also use a tool called Whisperflow to dictate so I don't actually have to type it out.
I want to run a competitive audit. So first to research and find my 3 biggest competitors. Then for each one, scrape their website and pull their main headline, any notable copy that they have, their brand tone and voice, and the CTA on their main button, as well as any notable other things that I should know. For example, if they're running any good deals or promotions right now. Compile it and pull it into documents that you'll save on my computer and then give me a summary report of the key things that I need to know. By the way, my company is Gymshark, gymshark.com. We'll hit run.
Okay, and now we are done. From a time perspective, this took probably 10 minutes. I was doing some other stuff in between and just cut back to this, just so you have an estimate. Let's go look at this. So the documents are saved there. Let's check if that is true. Competitive audit for Gymshark. Yep, so we've got these files. That's fine. So you can see that. Copy, column, notable observations. And so you'll notice here that it created these as code files. They're .md files, that's why they're opening in VS Code. But again, Claude Code is not just for programmers. It didn't have to do this. It's just because I wasn't too specific and asked for the files on my computer. But you could also say have them put these into Notion, which would be much easier to use for the average person. And in fact, now that I'm saying that, just to show that, I'm gonna have it add these to Notion.
This is cool, but actually, can you take those competitive analysis files and add them into Notion? Create unique pages for each of the competitors that you found. We have Notion connected here. We've asked for Notion, so it'll be able to do that.
All right, and we're done here, so let's open this up. Yep, so the competitive audit. Wow, this looks nice. And then the pages in here too. No way. Yeah, so you can see here, at least to me, this is like 10 times better than having it in an MD file. So it's cool to show that and show that it can create documents. And obviously if you're building something in code, you'll need that. But for me, Notion's way better, and this did a really good job with the formatting. And so you can use this anytime you want to do competitive research. For the second use case, just to show it, I'm gonna run this one in terminal instead of the desktop app. And let's say here we are trying to build some sort of quiz that will serve as a lead magnet for our business. So I'm gonna say you're a personal trainer, and we're trying to build a quiz to allow people to figure out like what sort of diet is best for their body type. And then from there, it'll collect their email and everything so that you have that for your business. So again, I'll use Whisperflow here.
I want you to build me a simple quiz lead magnet for an online fitness coach. The idea is ask a few questions to figure out what diet is best for each person's body type. So figure out what sort of body type they have and then what diet would go along with that. Well, it should be fairly simple, not too many questions, but also fun, have kind of characters at the end or certain archetypes based on the type of person that it is. But in order to get their results, they need to submit their email. Build me a simple landing page that has this and put it on my computer so I can access it. And then I'm also gonna add here, show me the plan first so I can review it and double check everything, just so that I can have some extra visibility into what's going on.
So now we'll give these a little bit of time to run. I can review the plan, landing page, 6 questions. I like these. And then it's asking an email gate note. Yeah, we don't actually need the email, so let's do option A. And another thing with prompting here is I like to write these out from scratch just so you can see my thought process. But one easy tip is you can always ask Claude to improve your prompts. Just say like, please improve this. Ask me questions if needed. I often add that in, that ask me questions if needed. So if it's missing something, it'll ask you get the info before going ahead and doing it. It really does help though the more specific you can be of what you're looking for or giving reference files or reference ideas. If you just say something like fix my files or build me a cool website, it doesn't really know what to do. So then you're really at the mercy of Claude as opposed to you being the one driving it. Okay, and now the quiz is done. Cool, yeah, okay, so this looks kind of like a generic AI website. That's fine. Take the free quiz. I'm naturally slim. I can eat a lot and stay pretty lean. I want to build muscle and get bigger. I am mostly sitting, mixed, natural eating patterns. Probably 3 solid meals a day. Cool, so then you enter your email at gmail.com. Boom. Wow, I'm actually really impressed with just how smoothly this works. Like again, it does look like an AI website, so like that's not perfect, but you could always change the formatting or say give it a example website to kind of steal like formatting or the overall aesthetic from, and then it would do much better there. Cool, yeah. Book a free strategy call, so it's got the CTA. Wow, I'm fairly impressed with just how smoothly things work. Usually things break a little bit more. So this is a great sort of lead magnet that you could use with really any business, this sort of quiz style, where someone learns something, but then also funnels them down to take an action. And one thing that we saw there is do make sure you are always checking what Claude says it's gonna do before accepting permissions. It's quite good, but it can make mistakes, and it can sometimes delete things if you're not careful. So just make sure you're looking over it. So those are the 2 use cases we're gonna walk through explicitly, but I don't just wanna stop there because I feel like that's too little, and I think people learn best through examples. So I'm gonna flash up on screen here a few more examples that the average everyday person could use Claude Code for. Pause the video if you wanna look at these. And a very important thing here that a lot of people don't talk about is something called the claude.md file. Don't worry about the name, but it's basically just an instruction document for Claude to understand what you want it to do. It's sort of like leaving a note for a house sitter. To create one of these, you can ask Claude to do it for you. You can also use the /command/init, but then you should edit it to add in your own instructions. So some things that I would recommend adding in and typically do is always explain what you're doing before you do it. Don't delete any files without asking me first. Explain things simply, I'm not a developer, and when in doubt, ask me rather than guessing. So to get started, I would pick one thing that you want to have it build and go have it do that. Play around with it. It's totally okay if you make some mistakes, but have it build something. From there, you've built one thing, then we can start leveling up a little bit. Maybe this is where you add in GitHub, have it push to production there. Maybe you're playing around with some of those slash commands in the terminal. Maybe you're switching from the desktop app to terminal. You've seen both, so you know how to do it with both. And overall, you're slowly starting to level up. Again, you don't have to get super technical. If you have any questions, please throw them in the comments below. I try my best to respond to all of those. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.